Too legit. Too legit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to me and Oscar reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 4, Snatch Game. Ooh. I was actually surprised about how they edited the episode. I liked it. I liked the way they edited it.
It wasn't bad. I was a little concerned because of this whole 40-minute episode thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like 14 queens doing Snatch Game.
Right.
I wish that like it could have been longer because I think the people who really did well,
Mm-hmm.
it could have turned into like a great opportunity for them to like have more fun with it. But I mean, it is what it is.
I agree, because I would love to see Rosie O'Donnell and Joan Rivers in the same Snatch Game. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. But I'm just kind of like, even then, I'm still curious about what is to come then. Like, since we did Snatch Game so early, what is to come? Like, what are we getting next?
I mean, it's okay. You still got to think we're missing the design challenge, which
It looks like that's gonna be next week.
yeah, at the end of the episode, it's next week. We haven't done a ball, always a
Right.
ball. We haven't done a musical.
Uh-huh.
We haven't-
But it is it's still 13 queens though. Usually they start out with this many.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot that they can still do. They haven't done an acting challenge yet.
I mean, well, yeah, they did improv.
Yeah, like I feel like there's still quite a bit. I'm sure that with like it being the 15th season, that like Rue probably has
Some
something
new stuff.
new that he's gonna like introduce.
Mhm.
I'm curious to see what that might be, but I think you're right. Like there's still a lot of the season left, but I mean there's still a lot of good challenges left as well.
Yeah, I agree. Cause I love the musicals. Those are my favorites. The musicals.
Yeah.
We still got a musical to get to. But we are talking about Snatch Game today. How did you feel about the two separate Snatch Games?
Um, I don't think it was bad. I
Mm-hmm.
just think that like I just wish that they would have like split some people up. And as we saw at the end of the episode, we'll get to that later. But I just feel like had people been split more evenly and not for the dramatics, I think it could have been like a different Snatch Game.
Yeah, it was definitely way better than last season. Definitely was a way better Snatch Game. Maybe that's why they did more queens with it.
Yeah.
Okay. It was definitely way better than last year. My favorite though, I think my favorite was definitely Joan Rivers.
Yes.
Well, no,
Yeah.
let's start with the first group. We jumping all over the place. The first group. Out of the first group, who was your favorite?
Out of the first group, I would say that Mistress was my favorite.
Mistress?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, I like Rosie O'Donnell. Also like Tim Dunn. Like
Yeah, Marsha.
Marsha did
Uh,
she did good. Like even with like when they wasn't talking to her, I was paying attention to that, and I was like, Marsha, even when she was responding to one of the twins, whoever played Miley, when she responded to Miley, I was dead.
no, that was a different group.
That's
Marsha.
the group. Who
Yeah.
was not Miley? Who's that? Selena, the Virgin Mary.
Yeah. There's
I'm
only
surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised she was safe because it is people who did worse than the Virgin
yeah.
Mary.
Oh, and again, like to go back on it, like I think it needed to be a little bit more evenly spread because like I don't know, the first group didn't do bad. I don't think there's any like I would
It
like
was some people that fell behind, but they didn't do bad.
yeah, like I would say the only one who did really bad was in that group and she didn't even do that bad. It was just like weird was Selena.
Yeah, like it was some like the beginning part I
Cha-cha.
laughed. Huh?
I said I almost said Selena Cha-cha. Wrong Selena.
Wrong one. But yeah, I agree with that. Celine, yeah, because like she did have some funny parts, but then it was just parts where she was just too extra. Like if she would have toned it down a little bit, it probably would have landed. Like the screaming part and like that when she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
That
I
it that was out of nowhere. It had like no like it came out of nowhere. Like it's not like Rue prompted anything. It just came out of thin air.
Yeah. And I also think like at the beginning of the episode when they were talking about who they were gonna be, like who their like character was, like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it could have been funny. And
Yeah,
it could have been funny had she stayed and stuck to what she originally said. She said
exactly.
the Virgin Mary, but she was gonna be like a horny like virgin. And it's like that wasn't the case at all. Like it just seemed like crazy Virgin Mary.
Yeah,
Like
and
and that
loud.
and like again, like I'm sure she tried to play to her strength and like her personality should like be up in your face all the time. But like it could have been funny had she been like, I don't know, just a little bit more like hornier because then it would have been like, oh, funny that like you're the Virgin Mary, you know?
She was playing her, not even herself, because the thing is when she's so like this is my thing with Selena. When she's not in drag, she doesn't act like that. Like even when you see her in the workroom just getting ready, she's not the loud chola that she's portraying to be when she gets in drag. So it comes off very unauthentic.
Yeah. It's
It,
the
it
5 minutes of fame.
there you go. That's exactly what it is. And I'm
But
pretty
but
sure
but
this ain't her.
you know what we have a hand like we always have 1 to 2 of those that
Right.
are all about like the 5 minutes of fame, like
Silky,
you
like when Silky
know,
did it.
Silky, like Roxy Andrews, like I mean I we could name a bunch of them and then they
Yeah.
come back to like all stars and like
And then
they're
we like them in All Stars.
right. So like yeah, I don't know. I just think that she wants like she's here to like leave a lasting impression and like instead of like leaving it as like I'm this like funny like chola whatever, like
Hmm.
she's just annoying.
Yeah, it's just it's becoming very annoying and then borderline stereotypical, honestly. And I'm just like, let's relax now. This is a little too much because like she really just played a chola being Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And the only part that was funny was the beginning part. Cause I feel like she started out doing what she said she was gonna do in the workroom. And
Mhm.
then as it went on, it transitioned to something totally different.
Right.
So like if she would have continued what she started with, I think she would have been fine. She probably still would have been safe because Marsha and Mistress really took over and really did good. But I think I do agree with you. The first group really did good. The other people like Malaysia really just faded to the back. Like she could have done so much with Saucy Santana.
Yeah.
Like, she could have done so much with Saucy Santana. Especially her being from Miami. Like you could have done so much. But she just fell to the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got on them. Second group. Who was in the second group? Lucy,
Lucy, the twin,
Lux, the twins.
Lux. I see again, like I don't know. I know I mentioned to you already, but
I've
like
been watching, yeah.
you can't like you with Lux, like you can't throw shade and then bomb. Like
I
you
agree.
she did equally, maybe worse than Trinity.
I feel
Like
like I agree. She didn't do much. Like
no.
she threw shade at Trinity, but then she got up there and she really just had to look.
Yeah. And my thing is now, I don't know, to me,
I laughed one time.
yeah, to me, she did worse than Trinity because
Mhm.
she set herself up to be better than Trinity, and she wasn't.
I
I
see
just
that.
think like there's nothing funny about Amanda Lepore other than like her
Her
plastic.
look. Yeah.
So like, I mean, you really only have that to play around with. So
Mhm.
like it's already a tough character. It's no different than everyone trying to do fucking Beyonce on this TV show. Like when
I'm glad they stopped that, honestly.
yeah, right. It's like there's like Beyonce isn't known for like humor, like she's supposed to be perfect and she's Queen Bee. Like there's nothing like humorous about her. So like don't set yourself up for that failure.
I agree. I agree. Um, who was in? Somebody was in. No. Oh, Jax. I thought Jax did really good too. Like in this
Yeah.
group. And
Only
what did she say? I kept calling her Madonna as Mona Lisa because that I feel like that was straight out of left field. I thought that was creative, like playing the Mona Lisa, and especially you know what part I thought was the funniest when Rue was like, "Show me that smile," and he was like, "Ah."
yeah, that was good. That like again, like I don't know. It's good. It's good when people keep it simple. It's like funny, right? Like and to go back to our earlier conversation about like what's her face playing why am I blanking her name about
Lux.
not Lux
Oh,
Rob,
Robin.
Robin Robin playing um
She played Karen, but
Care
I was saying that I felt like a lot if you don't watch the Real Housewives, you don't know who Karen is. And I felt like Robin, she didn't do bad, but she could have done better because Karen is her own. Like if you watch the Real Housewives of Potomac, Karen is funny in herself. Like Karen, like she like I don't know. It was just like it could have been better, but I was like, it wasn't bad, but I was just like, especially, but you was bringing up the point like if nobody know her, they can still make it funny like Jinx and like Ben Della Creme, which I agree with. Like once you said that, I was like, you know what, you right because I was just like, as me knowing who Karen is, I was like, she could have done so much. Like she could have just been reading, like Karen, you know who Nene Leakes is, right?
yeah
Okay, Karen is an older Nene Leakes, in
okay
my opinion, because Karen has those one-liners. She's always getting into the other girls in Potomac, and like she's just a sassy older woman, and like she honestly she gives off head mistress. So if she would have played into like her, because she even mentioned like in one of her jokes or whatever, she said, "I'm just being a grand dame" or whatever. Like Karen says that, but you could have played into that, like
yeah
be over dramatic. Because like for people who don't know her, if you would have played into her being like almost like a grandma mistress, that would have been funny.
right. Well, and there's always like sometimes think that some of the queens take the challenge a little too literal and
Yeah,
feel like they can only say like things that they've said. But like a perfect example of that was Mistress with Rosie O'Donnell. Like she didn't she didn't really like play Rosie O'Donnell. Like Mistress essentially played herself.
that was
Like
the, but yeah, Rosie was just the base. Cause she
right.
even said at one point she was like, and now I'm Abby Lee Miller. Now
Yeah,
I'm Abby Lee Miller.
yeah,
Like, so like I feel like if you're funny, you're funny. If you keep a, because I feel like Mistress kept a base though. Like she had the bad New York accent. She played into Rosie being the lesbian and everything. Like she had her base, like her base outline, her little skeleton or whatever. But she whatever came to mind, she made a joke type thing.
right.
But the one who did the best, Miss Lucy Laduka. I'm telling you, Lucy has been growing on me since she was in the bottom. Okay,
Yeah.
she came back. For I was doubting. I was such a doubter because I was like, she did Dolly Parton so good last week. Why we just not gonna do Dolly Parton again in Snatch Game? Might as well do Dolly Parton all the way. And then she
Yeah.
came with Joan Rivers, and I was like,
She did
she
so
better
good.
knock this out the box.
Yeah, she did really good. And I agree. Like, well, I actually didn't care for Lucy. You know I can't do the crying bitch. You know I can't do the crying.
Yeah,
It really annoys me and it just like it was like, girl, it is the first episode.
right. You
Like,
made one
what is
mistake.
you crying about? I think she should have been in the bottom just because she started crying. Regardless of all that, she just like I was like, oh no, not the crier. Like,
Uh-huh.
not that the Derek Barry cry. Do you remember that?
Oh
Like the
my God.
whole like speech she gave. Like, I was like, no. But then I think like as the last couple episodes have come up, like she's really grown on me.
Mhm.
I now feel like she is going to be one that's in the top four.
Me
Uh,
too. I was gonna ask you that at the end. Like, do you have new people in your top four now? We're gonna
yeah,
do that at the end.
yep,
But Lucy, I was really impressed. I was like, come through, Joan Rivers.
yeah,
I was like, okay, because even what she did that she did better than Lux is that like she did the setup because she was like, y'all like my Dolly Parton, but my Joan Rivers is better. So I was like, it better be good.
yeah,
And then she followed up. Now, Lux did not do that.
right.
But I was like, come on, Lucy. It's almost like the underdog story. Like she was in the bottom. Then she got safe. Now she the winner. Spoiler alert, she won the episode because she was so damn good.
Yeah, she was really good.
Like it
Now,
was nothing she said that was not funny. Like everything I laughed at everything.
yeah. Now, what do you think about the bottoms in that group?
Oh, Bretman. We didn't even talk about Bretman Rock. You know, I love me some Bretman Rock. Okay. What's her name? Aurora? Aurora?
Yeah,
Why did she do that? Why did she do that to Bretman Rock? First of all, she didn't even talk about the turtles. You got to talk about saving the turtles with your little metal straw. Like, if you
yeah,
trying to be Bretman, you got to be Bretman. You ain't get into no makeup over here talking about coconut water. Okay, he likes to drink his coconut water. That was not funny. I think she was trying to be too literal, and she was like, "Oh, he Filipino, I'm Filipino." That is not Snatch Game.
yeah. And then when he like answered that one question with like whatever he said
And
in
Filipino, yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just because y'all match that don't mean pick them. Like even if we could give Lux some credit, like Lux picked a white woman
yeah,
and she is a chocolate queen. You do
yeah,
not have to pick somebody that you because the challenge is not to look like them. The challenge is to be funny. And
right.
like you said, I think they forget that. I think they just try to be literal and just try to not even impersonate. They're just trying to look like them is the goal. Cause the look was everything. The look was good. I like
Yeah,
the look. It was just the jokes were not landing. And Bretman is funny.
yeah. I also feel like, what's funny is I think about this a lot too, is that all the queens say, like, and everyone watching the TV show, like, Snatch Game always comes up, and everyone's always like, you should be prepared for Snatch Game. But my theory is
Uh-huh.
that a part of their audition tape is for them to do Snatch Game, a character.
I believe so because I saw Monet. I think Monet posted her audition tape on on YouTube. Like I think I definitely believe they have to do
They
that. Like you
do.
have to know who
They
you're gonna do.
100% do. They've always talked about it in the show. And so I think to obviously make the show good, they do pick ones that like aren't
They
very
know
good.
they're gonna do bad. Yeah, I get that. But then that's the other thing. That's also like coming to drag race and not at least practicing how to sew. Like it's so many different ways to sew. You don't have to know how to use the machine, but at least try to hand stitch something. Try to do like you got to come with some knowledge. Like this has been on for 15 seasons. And you telling me you auditioning for drag race and don't know how to do nothing with a needle and thread?
Yeah.
Practice. Like you don't gotta be the best, but at least I don't need you coming on the TV and talking about I never sewn a day in my life. Why not?
Yeah.
You're
The fact that none of them have learned from Shangela.
hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, but now we get into not the drag race. We've been getting into the drag race. Now we getting into the runway. Do you want to do all 14 queens, or do you want to stick with the tops and the bottoms?
Let's stick with the tops and the bottoms.
Okay, so the tops are Marsha. What did you think about Marsha's runway?
I I agreed with the critiques that were given to her. Marsha was supposed to be the theme of the runway
Oh yeah.
was Nightmare Come Alive, right?
Mhm.
So to preface that, like when I think of a nightmare, like I think of something really scary.
Right.
I think Marsha, I give her brownie points
Mm-hmm.
for trying to like think outside the box. I think a lot of people are really afraid of dentists. I get it.
Oh,
Like,
was it dentist?
yeah,
Is
it
that
was
what it
a
was?
dentist. Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was mad scientist. I'm never gonna hold you.
Yeah, it was a dentist nightmare. But
People
it
are
was
scared of
basic.
dentists. It
Like
was, yeah.
and I think her problem is that she doesn't paint. She doesn't do
Pride.
anything aesthetically to
Yeah,
like enhance her, which is what part of drag is. Uh,
right,
and even Rue said it. She said, "You better drag it the fuck up." Like,
right.
um,
She did do something to her eyes though. She like tried to put on an eye. And I was
yeah,
like, okay, she did because even the first runway, it was almost like she was barefaced.
yeah.
So like
Well,
this one,
again, right? Like, not to bring her up again, but like Derek Barry, like like the makeup was like Britney, and not to say that like Marsha's trying to impersonate anyone, but like you have to change when they tell you something.
Marsha just has good skin, and I think that's what it is. Marsha has good skin, and she's like, my face is already giving fish. And she's like, I don't need much. But like, girl, this is drag race. The point is to be dramatic.
Yeah, I
Like, drag it
you
up.
have to paint. You have to paint.
Yes, I agree. And the next top was, of course, Miss Mistress. I liked her outfit. I learned something new today. I did not know we eat spiders in our sleep.
I am gonna have to disagree with you on that.
You didn't like it? I like the hip thing. I don't know what that was. Was it a cage or something? Or was it
She
supposed to be a web?
To me, out of the three spiders that were on the runway, hers was the worst.
Well, yeah, I do think Robin had the best. I think Robin had the best spider on the runway.
No, I don't think Robin. I think Anitra had the best one.
Really? I got to
Her
look at Anitra.
body looked so good.
I like Robin's little. I don't know what it is about the hips and stuff, but I like that. Like the legs coming out the waist.
I think it was too costumey.
It's drag race. Can't
Me,
come on.
no, but like it was just too. There can be too much.
It could be too much, but I didn't think it was too much.
I thought it was
Wait, are you talking about Mistress or Robin?
Robin.
Really?
Yes, I think Mistress was hers looked cheap.
Really? I liked it.
No, I think out of those three, I think Anitra's was by far the best.
Me personally, I liked all the spider looks, but I like Robin's spider look the best. But I don't think Mistress spider look was bad.
It was my least favorite out of the three. I just think it
Oh,
just
okay. Out of the three, okay, I get it. 'Cause I'm gonna say it's some other worse looks on this
no, I don't
way.
know, not out of the whole episode. I already told you who my bottom was for the episode
Who?
based on looks.
Oh, based on looks, Malaysia, right? That's what you said.
Uh
Or was it Spite? I mean, Sugar.
oh, it was Jax.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was. She looked like it looked like she was wearing a toga. Like I didn't get
Yeah.
snake. I didn't get
No,
snake.
other than the face, I thought
Snake.
the makeup was really beautiful. I
Yeah,
think she did a really good job. I think that looked like a snake, but like,
it was the body.
yeah, the rest of the costume just looked like a full bodysuit with like just like a snake wrapping around it. Like,
And it didn't fit right. Like
yeah,
if we doing bodysuit, Sasha's bodysuit,
yeah,
that that was a bodysuit.
yeah,
Jax did not pull that bodysuit off.
yeah.
I'm glad he was Mona Lisa because Mona Lisa saved him. Because that
Yeah.
look, I agree with you. That look, I forgot all about that look, but the makeup was good. You
Yeah.
could tell he spent more time on the makeup than he did on the outfit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But let's get to the true bottoms. Oh wait, no, we forgot Lucy. She was the winner.
Yes, Lucy was. I did like her.
I
Friday.
did like her outfit. Yeah,
I thought it
she
was
was Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
From Friday the 13th.
Yep.
And I thought she did a really good job.
The face. I think she did. The face was amazing. Even with the mask, like you know how. Remember when was it Silky, who only remember they had the face covered up, and they only did put makeup on the parts of the face that was covered up.
Oh, the fly when she did the fly.
Yes. I was like, I like that because Lucy, she had like half of her face was covered, but you could tell the whole face was beat.
Yeah.
And I like that. I was like, yes, her face really sold it. I mean, the outfit was cute too. Like she dragged it up like she was supposed to. The outfit was cute, but the face is really what sold it for me.
Yeah. So putting the actual top 3 aside, based on just runways, who would you say is your top 3?
Just runway?
Yeah, just based on runway.
Sasha. Anitra and Robin. I like those outfits.
Interesting.
Why? Who you got?
I agree with Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha. Who's the other one? I think Aura.
Oh, I forgot about Aura. Look,
and Lux.
I did like Lux look. I did. I like how she sold it. I did like Aurora's look as well, but it was more like I feel like it fit really good and everything, but I feel like the other thing that threw me back, it was the front was just black, and like she likes it's like I guess she likes her black thing, but like the real drama was on her back. So like I wouldn't put it as like a favorite, but I do think it was one of the good, like one of the better looks of what everybody provided. But like I liked for some reason I liked the spider theme that they came with. I like the spider theme.
I have a hard time with the spider. I think like after who did it? Kylie did it, I think.
I don't remember Kylie.
Or was it? Oh, who was the other queen that did it?
I mean,
my
Kylie probably did it. I just don't remember her doing it.
There was somebody else who did it that was like really good. Who was the queen that had like the gray hair and that like
Max.
Max, yeah. She had a good Black Widow runway.
You're right. You are absolutely. That was a good black. And
That
now
was-
if we're comparing to other seasons,
Yeah.
no. But I still like Robin's.
Okay, we can agree to disagree.
We can definitely agree to disagree. But I do agree with yours. I did like yours as well. Like I did like Lux. I like how she sold it. It was different. But we're gonna put together looks. Sasha was so put together. I was like, now that's how you get body, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so now your bottom looks.
Bottom looks was Sugar, Spice, and Malaysia.
Yeah.
Those were my bottom looks.
Selena too.
Selena's look. I don't remember Selena's look.
She was like a zombie that like
She was a ghetto zombie.
it was She was still a lot of zombie. Um, she like pieced together different rags, and it just looked like I don't know. It just looked like a lot of rags. That's what basically.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna agree with you because I don't remember the look, so it had to be bad if I don't remember it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that Spice. I think what saved Spice was her runway look because Sugar's was too cute.
Sugar's look was like bubble gum in a dish. Like nothing. Like if she came up in my dream, I would not be scared. And that little itty bitty doll she had, that would not scare me.
Yeah, and I have a hard time giving any justification to queens who don't follow what the runway is supposed to be.
I
Like,
think they was trying to be too out of the box. They was trying to be too much out of the box to where like they was trying to be like, oh, nightmare, but let me nightmare in color. Like, no, that is not scary.
well, and it gave me Pearl.
Pearl.
Do you remember when they did the ugly?
Yes, and she was not ugly at all.
Oh, it was like so beautiful, and it's like, girl, like follow what they tell you to
Right.
do.
Follow the theme. Yeah, I agree. That's so crazy. I really do not remember Selena's runway. That is crazy. All right, let's get to this bottom three though, because we only talked about Aurora's snatch game, but let's get into Sugar Spice snatch game and why they in the bottom.
Yeah, I mean they didn't.
Yep.
Oh my. Literally, like not her making Miley sound like Goofy.
Right? I was like, who is she playing? I feel like this is what she should have done. Playing Miley. She did old school Miley, Hannah Montana. Why would you switch to pixie cut twerking Miley?
Right.
You had the blueprint, girl. Switch to Hannah Montana. Like you got the blueprint, use it. And stop laughing like that. I've never heard Miley Cyrus laugh like that a day in my life.
Right.
If I was Miley Cyrus, I would feel disrespected. Like, so you think I'm stupid, huh? Like, who do you think I am?
Why you mad though? Why you mad?
Why you mad? Why you mad though? Why you mad though? Why you mad though? Just no. It was just a no for me.
And you know, for me, I think Sugar. I mean, I like. I think Spice got saved because of her runway, whereas Sugar like did equally as bad. And I think that her runway did not save her because it wasn't Nightmare. And yeah, it was tough. But I think, you know, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, is that, you know, I think the hard part of it all was that like they didn't pair them. They purposely put them together or let them be together in the same group.
Yeah, they're too rehearsed.
Yeah, and I think that made that second group really bad because of it, because they were trying to bounce off of each other so much that I think instead of helping them, which is what they were intending to do, it ended up hurting them.
Yep, and then it just annoyed everybody around them.
Yeah,
because like that little thing they did back and forth, like in the middle, was so like, what?
Yeah, and it again, like I said earlier, I mean, I hate to reference all the other drag seasons, but it was just giving me too much Latrice's first season when
Even her all-star.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it just it gets frustrating when it's just everyone's just acting like Boo Boo the Fool.
I agree. And then on top of that, their lip sync, I was like, honestly, I feel like one of them needed to go home in like period. One of them needed to go home for the other one to at least to either thrive or fail. That is my personal opinion because they were too like their lip sync. They practiced their lip sync together. Y'all are supposed to be competing against each other. How are y'all competing against each other and y'all practicing 8 counts to perform at a lip for the lip sync if y'all going against each other. Like, you're not trying to save yourself. You're just, at this point, I guess you're just trying to put on a show, but like, it would have been better TV if they would have actually competed against each other and like not did the routine, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. And even, well, to back up just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
the bottom three, I think that, and this is what I'm saying, is that I do believe that Aura was in the top four runway looks is because that thing saved her.
Oh, for sure.
Should have
For
number one been in the bottom. It should have been her lip syncing against one of the twins. But
mm-hmm.
because of that runway, it saved her out of being in the bottom.
For sure. That runway definitely saved her ass. Because I even called it because you was like, no, her performance was so bad. I'm like, yeah, her performance was so bad. But like, look what she came down in. Like, I was like, they gonna put them twins against each other. One, because it's good for TV. Two, they look bad. Well, they didn't look terrible, but like they didn't, because like the outfits weren't bad outfits, right? They were just not for the theme whatsoever.
Yeah.
And plus, that's the other thing. They look, one of them needed to go home because their runways look too much alike. They're just like, they look the same but different colors. Like, they needed to, somebody needed to go home so the other one could thrive. I feel like that's just my opinion. Who you texting over there? Because I can hear it.
I was a little panicked because my roommates, well, one of my roommates, Maria, texted. She was like, "I'll be home at 10:30." Alex said that she was going to be gone all night to some like recital or something, and I heard somebody walk in. I thought it was Maria, and then Maria texted in our group chat and was like, "I'm not gonna be home until 10:30." So I was like, kitchen. Um, so I texted them and I was like, "Oh, thank it." I was like, "Somebody better be home." I was like, "Not me being in the Idaho murders." And Alex was like, "I'm home," and I was like, "Oh, thank the Lord."
Well, amen. Hey, Alex.
Uh, but yeah, I do agree. I think their runways were too similar. I think the ragdoll could have been really good, but they didn't make it spooky enough.
Right.
Like,
It was too clean.
yeah, you had to go over. It was too pretty, is
It
what
was,
it was.
you could tell she put some bleach to those clothes. Ragdoll, throw
Yeah,
it around. Like, come on. Clothes
yeah,
was, it was too bright. Like,
yeah,
we're supposed to be scared. Nothing that is scary is that bright.
right.
So I agree. And Sugar went home. So Sugar went home after that lip sync. Do you agree with Sugar going home after the lip sync that they did? That was
Yes.
rehearsed in together?
Yep. Yeah, um, I think she had the odds stacked against her based on her performance, and then I think her runway was the worst out of the two. I think
I agree.
she tried to stick to her brand.
Mm-hmm.
I think again, right? Like I don't think the doll idea was bad. I just think that like there's ways that they could have made it creepy. Like she could have walked up like with a stone cold face, maybe done a little turn, and then when she turned around, she could have had like a big smile, like a creepy smile painted on her face.
Mm.
Like, just something to like freak somebody out, but like nothing that they were wearing was like, freaked anyone out. It was fashion.
I agree.
Not me having a peppermint moment. It was fashion.
Fashion.
Uh,
I
but
agree.
yeah, I think based on the decision, I think it was the right decision.
Mhm.
I was highly, highly, highly disappointed that they choreographed it together and that they like used each other. And I would have stopped watching for the rest of the season if Rue had saved them both.
Save the both of them. That would have been the end of us reviewing the show. I would have been like, oh no, there's no way.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch Untucked now to see if they did that during Untucked. Like, did they rehearse it during Untucked?
Yeah, I'm curious to know. They had to have known they were going to be in the bottom, so they probably did it like right after Snatch Game.
Well, yeah.
I think everyone saw this coming.
Oh, for sure. We definitely called it. Because when we was watching it, when we talked about during a commercial break, when we talked about our tops and our bottoms, we definitely called the tops and we called the bottoms. I feel like it was very obvious who was top and who was bottom. So yeah, I think we knew it. We just thought Aurora was going to be lip singing until she came down the runway in that outfit, and then it was like, okay, the twins is going against each other. So
Right.
like, this episode was very predictable, I feel like, but I agree. I thought Sugar was gonna go home, especially since when she was trying to take her shoe off. I was like, oh yeah, she going home.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do agree with the decision that was made. And I do hope that it does give Spice an opportunity to break out. I mean, based on the preview that we watched, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like she's gonna melt.
Yeah, I think whenever there's a drag queen that has a crutch, I think they really struggle when that crutch begins to be taken away. Or that identity, they got to be pushed to do something different. And I'm hoping that, I do think that she has a lot of talent. I'm hoping like instead of like seeing this as like, oh my God, I'm on my own, I want to go home, my twin's not here, that she steps up to the plate and that she actually gets to like blossom on her own.
Right. I agree. I hope she takes this as an opportunity to be herself and not worry about, because it seems like Spice was worrying more about Sugar. Like even with the last episode when they got split up and like I guess Sugar wasn't really vibing with Jax and everybody in her group and nobody was taking her ideas. I feel like Spice was kind of like focusing on that. So I'm like hoping that since her twin is gone, that she is going to blossom and like just skyrocket. But like you said, that preview for next episode, it looks like she just kind of falls and kind of crumbles. But the hope is that she goes up and not down. But hey, it's a competition. Somebody got to go home. I'm loving somebody going home every episode. I'm liking this.
Everyone getting a participation trophy.
I'm glad the chocolate bars are done. Chocolate.
That was so bad. Make sure to cue the little wah wah wah.
Wah, wah, wah. It's chocolate. All right, y'all. So that is it for this review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 4. We will catch y'all next week for Episode 5.
Peace.
Peace out.
I looked up a horoscope. It said